having to ask for money felt really uncomfortable. So charging people for my time felt wrong. Like it felt wrong. We are talking about how to fill your online program without spending all day on social media. So, I want to start off by just talking about the biggest and most impactful shift that I had around sales and marketing. And I want to share it with you before I go into the strategy. When I was in school as a registered holistic nutritionist, I had a 12-hour business course. That was it. And we were taught to put together a business plan, and we were taught to put together a brochure, and we were taught to put together a business card and sort of like an expense Excel tracker to like track our expenses. And that was it. And keep in mind, this was 2007. So this was like well before social media took off. I honestly don't think it's changed much, sadly. Anywho, so no one talked to me about what marketing actually is or what the sales process actually is. And so when I started, I felt like I had to sell myself. So on days where I didn't move my body, on days where I ate really crappy, on days where I didn't sleep well, on days where I wasn't at my best, it was really hard to sell myself because I felt like a fraud. So having to ask for money felt really uncomfortable. It felt really uncomfortable because I loved what I did. So charging people for my time felt wrong. Like it felt wrong. And it wasn't until I was sitting in a room at my very first business conference in the online world. I was sitting in this room and I was listening to people talk about marketing in a way that I had never heard before. And they were so passionate about how they were able to market their business and market their program and make six figures. And that language, market their program and make six figures, I was like, what language are they speaking? Like, what are you even saying? What is marketing? Like, what is online marketing? What is that? And then I started to really understand that the purpose of marketing is to help a person create change. Use communication through story, through emotion, through video, through text, through graphic, whatever it is, to attract the right type of person so that your communication helps to create a change, whether they become a client or not. And that was the day that I became obsessed with learning how to be a good marketer, because I am here for impact and growth above all else. The money comes as a result of me being able to market really, really well. With that being said, now that we have a new perspective around marketing, let's actually go through the strategies, the 5 simple must-have strategies, so that you can communicate in a way that's going to shift their perspective and get them to a place where they want to talk to you about enrolling. That's the goal, right? You want people emailing you and saying, hey, how can you help me? Can I join your program? You want DMs. Can I join your program? Do you have a link? How do I chat with you? Can I book a call? Like, that's what you want. All right. When people come into the 10K Success System to work with us, after they complete their online signature program, then we move over into the ongoing enrollment section. And we work with them directly to be able to build out all of these different steps that I'm about to walk through with you now. So 5 must-have steps. Step number 1, leveraged leads. Step number 2, capture the contact. Step number 3, KLT plus E. Step number 4, educate and empower, and then invite into transformation. So these are the 5 must-have steps that you need to get clients. Let's go through what they are. So number 1 is leveraged leads. Most people who come in to work with us have no email list, They have no website. They have no Facebook group. They have no audience to speak of. So the fastest way, the fastest, and simplest, frankly, way to grow your audience is through using Facebook and Instagram ads. It is the fastest way. It targets your ideal client for you. It works 24/7 on your behalf. It helps you to become known super fast. It grows your email list and it grows your Facebook group. And so you can start using Facebook or Instagram ads for just $5 a day. The thing about the ad, which you can see here, this is from Katie, this is a live ad that she's running now. When I was dealing with breakouts, I was hiding all the time. I shied away from doing the things I want to do because of how I felt, and I felt like it would be like this forever. Those 3 sentences right there is what attracts her purple duck to her and repels all the other ducks. Your ad, the way that you structure it, the image that you use, the headline that you use, your ad is going to attract your purple duck to you, because they're going to see that scrolling in their news feed. And if somebody who's struggling with acne, aren't they going to stop on that? Of course they are. The whole purpose of the ad is to get them to click. That's it. It's to get them to stop their scroll and be like, oh, I have this problem. Let me click. And they're going to click on the ad, and then they're going to be taken to step number 2. They click on the ad because in the ad, you're telling them, hey, I used to struggle with this, this is her lead magnet opt-in page. So they're clicking on the ad in order to get the free guide. Now, in order to get the free guide, you're not just going to give it to them for free. You want something in exchange, and that something is their name and their email. So even though it's free, there's a value exchange. You are giving them value and they are giving you their name, right? So there's an exchange of value happening there. They're going to enter their name and email because they want the glowing skin guide. And now you have a new email subscriber and you didn't even have to do anything. You just had to set up an ad one time, which is amazing, right? And so you have a new email subscriber. And because I'm telling you on the thank you page, you're going to invite them to join the Facebook group. And obviously the Facebook group is specific to the problem. So they're going to want to join. So now you have a new email subscriber, and now you have somebody in your Facebook group. And so your ad is now growing your email list and your Facebook group, your audience, on behalf of you every single day. And this is where our clients usually freeze. They're like, oh my God, I have a new email subscriber. Oh my gosh, I have people in my group. What do I say? What do I do? Because up until they started working with us, they were either trying to do it on their own and it wasn't going well. And when you turn your ad on and 7 days later, you have 100 people in your Facebook group, you're like, I'm sorry, what? Like, what now? I have 100 people in my Facebook group. If you were to stand up and do a workshop in front of 100 people, you'd be a little nervous, no? It's like, Lori, there's 100 people in my Facebook group. Like, I just turned my ad on last week. I'm like, amazing. So let's talk about step number 3. And so this is where your very structured KLT plus E, which is your know, like, and trust and engage sequence, your nurture sequence, comes into play. After somebody subscribes to your email list, you need to nurture them. They don't know you. You are a stranger, and it is your job to get them to know you. It is your job to get them to like you. It is your job to earn their trust, right? It is your job to raise their level of readiness. And you can only do that when they are in your world, which is why the ad and the lead magnet is so critical. It's to bring the purple ducks so that they're sitting in your pond. And now they're sitting in your pond, and now you need to talk to them, right? Now you need to use your marketing purple duck language to be like, hi, I'm Lori. It's so nice to meet you. This is who I am, and this is what I do, and this is why I do it. And here's a little bit about me. And I have 2 kids, and I'm going to show you my dog because that's super cute. And I'm going to educate you a little bit. And I'm going to tell you what your next step is. As I'm educating you and as I'm entertaining you, I'm moving you along. I'm moving you into the next stage, which is step number 4, a webinar. So after somebody signs up for your email list, is in your Facebook group, and they get your nurture sequence, the next natural step for them is to sign up for your webinar. And your webinar is where you get to shine. Your webinar is where you get to educate them, and it's where you get to interact with them, just like we're doing right now, in real time. This is where you get to really bust their limiting beliefs. This is where you get to address all of the objections and all of the sort of, well, my doctor didn't say that, like those types of beliefs in a really short period of time. Having a webinar is really the fastest way to move someone into action, and you get to interact with them in real time. And it also helps you to establish your authority, because you're showing up and you're educating them and you're entertaining them, and you are getting them to believe that a solution is available to them. And then you move them from the webinar into a discovery call. And that's step 5. So you're going to invite them into transformation, and you're going to give them the link to your online calendar booking from the webinar, and they're going to book a call with you. I want you just to sit there and think about the fact that you're going to be very soon doing a webinar, and people are going to book a call with you. They're going to raise their hand and they're going to say, yes, I want to talk to you about how you can help me. And the reason that that will happen is because of all the work you did leading up to that moment in your marketing. You've created marketing from your ad to your lead magnet to your nurture sequence to the webinar that has raised their level of readiness, and now they are ready to talk to you. And so then you get on the discovery call with them, and there's 2 things that you do on this call. Let's actually count how many times they've chosen you already. They clicked on your ad, they entered their name and email, they joined your Facebook group, they opened your lead magnet, they opened your nurture sequence emails, they registered for your webinar, they showed up to the webinar, they registered for a discovery call, and they showed up to the discovery call. They've already chosen you 9 times. You don't need to convince them at this point, right? You don't need to convince them. What your job is on the discovery call is to assess and then coach them through the decision-making process. So the first part of the discovery call is where you assess if they are in fact a good fit, if they are in fact the right type of ideal client that you want to work with, because there's going to be people that you get on the call and you're like their attitude is horrible, they're victimy, they're super blamey. I don't want to work with you. Like, no thanks. Like, you're going to make me miserable, right? And so you're using the discovery call to filter. You're using the discovery call to assess. And then if you decide through your assessment process that they are in fact a good fit, that you would like to work with them, that they are in fact ready to do this now, then you can invite them into transformation. Then you can say, I do believe I can help you. Would you like to know more about such and such program? And then they say, yes, please. And then you switch the conversation to helping them to see how your program is the solution for them. And then you say, would you like to get started? And then they say, yes, right? And then it's about just sure. And then it's about payment details. That's it. And so when we really look at what your online business is and what you need to be successful, this is it. You need a niche and a purple duck. Then you need the ongoing enrollment method and a signature program. That's it. Now they're in your program Facebook group and they're meeting other people who have the same problem as them. And they're, for the first time in their life, feeling validated. And they're coming to you and they're saying, thank you. Thank you for putting this together. Thank you for taking me on as a client. You will get people that will say that to you. Thank you for taking me on as a client. And all of the struggle and all of the overwhelm and all of the tears in that moment, you won't even remember them, because you'll be like, oh, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Right. And that's real. That's real. And it's because you decided that you were going to push the easy button and follow the exact steps that I just gave to you because you have a responsibility to transform lives. This was fab. I hope that this gave you clarity and outcomes. You still might not know exactly how to do it. Obviously, I can't get into like the full nitty gritty and teach you because we only have an hour. And it wouldn't even be helpful for me to teach you if before you even understood what it was that you were doing. But now you get it. Ongoing enrollment to your signature program. It's that simple. Ongoing enrollment to your signature program. Have a fabulous rest of your day.